Hey guys, RanterInShades here, exercising my first amendment rights vlog style, and it's time to play the assumption game. I was tagged by SpizzTrizz not too long ago to take part in this, and the people that I am going to tag to do this are the Random Gangsta, Cooper Sly King, and Atticus the Death Metaler. Alright, so with all that in mind, before I begin, I'm actually going to run an idea that I have for a series by you guys and see what you guys think. I'm thinking of starting a series that I got the idea of thanks to one of the people in the Metalgate group that I'm a part of. Basically, I take something that I find to be good and bash it from a purist, misunderstanding, SJW-like perspective. So, for example, I take Death Clock and bash them because they have a song called I Ejaculate Fire. They want to kill women. Patriarchy, something along those lines. Obviously, it would be more thought out and more funny and not as off the cuff. So, leave me your thoughts about that in the comments, and with that said, let's begin the assumption game. The first one comes from the Double Agent. You've tried to rap before and it failed horribly. I probably have at some point, and yeah, it probably was one of the most cringeworthy things ever. But not as cringeworthy as this! Cooper Sly King says, you like ska music? Yes, I do. After hardcore and pop punk, ska is probably like my next favorite after those two. I love Real Big Fish, I love Less Than Jake, I also really like Big D and the Kids Table, Streetlight Manifesto, the Mighty Mighty Boss Stones. The Aquabats are kind of cool. As you can tell, it's mainly second wave ska. That's not to say that I don't like first wave ska, I just don't really know much about it. But other than that, Real Big Fish, Less Than Jake, those are like my two favorites. Love ska. The Random Gangsta says, you smoke weed when you don't make videos because that's your only way of enjoying the music of Asking Alexandria, Pierce the Veil, and Sleeping with Sirens. Oh, Random Gangsta, that implies that I try to listen to those bands, that I do that in my spare time. You silly, silly fool, you clever bastard. All Out War 5001 says, I assume that your least favorite Kiss album is The Elder, and your favorite Kiss member is Paul Stanley. My least favorite Kiss album is actually between Dynasty and fucking Psycho Circus. My favorite Kiss member, if we're talking about the classic era, my favorite member is actually Ace Frehley. And if we're talking all time, then my favorite Kiss member of all time would be Vinnie Vincent. I assume you like Iron Maiden Somewhere in Time and hate the Blaze stuff. I do like Somewhere in Time as well as the rest of the classic Bruce Dickinson era stuff and the two Di'Anno albums. I don't hate the Blaze Bayley stuff, it's just not what I listen to. With Iron Maiden, I tend to stop after Fear of the Dark. With Blaze Bayley, actually, I like this band that he was in before Iron Maiden called Wolfsbane, as well as some of the solo stuff that he's done. And I assume your favorite Megadeth album is Rust in Peace. You assume correctly. Mason the Anti-Elitist says, you're 25. I'm actually 21. Sorry. Maximilian222 says, you have over 10,000 songs on your iPod. Well, if we take my iPod out and click enter or menu a bunch of times and go back and scroll over shuffle songs, we can see that I have 19,810 songs. Alec Martin says, my assumption, you wear shades because if anyone looks directly into your eyes, they are turned to stone. Why don't you tell me? Zane Hinshaw says, you don't like doom metal. I don't not like doom metal, it's just not really what I listen to. But, you know, if you really want to get technical, Black Sabbath, they're considered doom metal. Not only are they considered the godfathers of metal, but also the godfathers of doom metal. So to say I don't like doom metal, that would imply that I don't like Black Sabbath, which of course would be a lie. I do enjoy Sabbath, so take that as you will. The Vegetarian Metalhead says, you've thought about growing your hair down to your waist. only every day. The Joker Fan 95 says, you dislike Boom Clap by Charlie XCX if you heard it. Knowing what songs she's been a part of in the past, songs like I Love It and Fancy, I probably wouldn't. Jacob M. Keen says, you've never heard of Tony J. I haven't, I'm sorry. You've vacationed at least one place outside of North America. Yes, I've been to Jamaica. I've been on 2 cruises, one going to the Caribbean and one to going, I want to say, Middle America and Mexico. And finally, the summer before college, I went to Costa Rica, and that was fucking amazing. Christian Wolf says, I assume you like tacos. I actually don't. I've never really been big on Mexican food, so sorry, Christian. Joseph Mengeli says, you're going to mispronounce my name in the next video. I'm sorry if I did. I hope I didn't. You have no idea who I named my channel after despite being a Slayer fan. Well, that implies that it has something to do with Slayer. Okay. You think most of the questions I ask you for Q&As are too silly to answer. Probably. I would appreciate it if you cut down on that. Your favorite Skid Row album is Slave to the Grind. Actually, I prefer the self-titled over Slave to the Grind, honestly, so close. If your hair ever gets past your shoulders, you'll look like JJ Discussions with sunglasses. If my hair grows into that shape, then probably, but what's sad is that JJ Discussions doesn't even look like that anymore. You're surprised that I haven't mentioned Sarah Palin or Michelle Bachmann up until this point. I didn't know you were going to mention Sarah Palin or Michelle Bachmann at all. Jeff Emerson says, you have no clear taste in music outside of metal and punk. Okay, let me bring over to iTunes and go scrolling through my genre smart lists. The non-metal genres and non-punk genres that I have here include alternative rock, AOR, blues, funk, hard rock, new wave, pop, pop rock, progressive rock, rap, ska, and southern rock. So that's pretty much what I listen to outside of metal and punk. You want to conquer the world just so you can kill frogs. Why frogs? What did frogs ever do? You're on your way to steal my girl.
Six hours later.
Atticus the Death Metaler says, you love glam way too much, LOL. You're talking to a guy wearing a Danger Danger shirt and has posters of Poison and Guns N' Roses. You tell me, Mr. Death Metaler. Fag Wellington says, I assume you like to not like things just like all the other I hate everything hipsters. What's ironic is that I hate those exact people. And if anything, I'd say my channel basically promotes open-mindedness as an ideology as opposed to hating everything, because most of the videos on my channel don't really have to do with hating much. Metal Detector says, you spend more time watching YouTube videos than watching TV. Unfortunately, that's kinda true, but now that we have a couch in here and tricked the TV out in here, hopefully that can change. Manic Maniac says, you use Spotify regularly. I actually don't. I don't even use Spotify at all. I'm one of those traditional people that downloads music or buys music somewhere and loads them onto iTunes and creates a giant fucking massive collection consisting of, at the moment, 21,198 things. Yeah. And finally, Retarded Fart Smeller says, presumably you like women with small noses and big ears. I'm not sure about the big ears part, but small noses, that's pretty damn accurate, sir. So thank you for leaving your assumptions, and good luck to the people I tagged to take part in the assumption game, those people being Random Gangsta, Cooper Slackhang, and Atticus the Death Metaler. So, thank you for watching this video, take care, and have a nice day. I'm Shades, and I'll see you next time.